season.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
And we welcome you in, everybody. Happy Monday afternoon to you. It's a Monday, and we love it. You know, it's one of the days that we get to spend some time with you out there. Gwynn and Chris on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. Chrisello, Matt Skraby together today in our Odyssey Palace studios. Tony Gwynn Jr. is idle today. Tony will join us again tomorrow from Seattle, where the Padres will play the Mariners. Padres have today off. Before we go any further, I want to let him gloat and get it out of the way. Mr. Skraby is now a two-time champion in our fantasy baseball league.
I didn't know you were going to go this route so
early.
He
clinched the championship yesterday, which is weird for just about anybody else out there who plays fantasy baseball, because there's still 3 weeks left in the season.
Yes, our commissioner made a slight mistake.
Our commissioner didn't quite have it together. Put the finish line 3 weeks before the actual season ends, but Skraby did win that again, so I congratulate him on that. We'll talk plenty of fantasy sports today. I know everybody's either ecstatic or reeling or nervous about tonight, as they try to get the result of their first fantasy football game of the year. We will talk plenty of NFL today. We have our first good, bad, and ugly of week #1 in the National Football League. And suffice to say, there was plenty of all three categories.
Yes, there was.
So we'll get to all of that. But, of course, we have to start with the Padres. And
do we?
Yeah, we do. They're idle tonight. Things are getting a little nervous out here. I honestly did not think it was going to happen, and it hasn't yet happened. But the fact of the matter is, although the Padres still lead the wild card race, they have company, and the company is getting a little too close for comfort. Padres are a half game ahead of the Diamondbacks, but now only 2 games ahead of both the Mets and the Braves. And both the Mets and Braves could shave that to a game and a half tonight, because they are playing, whereas the Padres are sitting. A couple of losses to the Giants have helped bring the Padres back to the pack. Bob Melvin coming to town, doing a little damage before he left.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't like losing, but I don't mind losing when people I've heard of hit home runs. But when you lose to Gerard Encarnacion and Kurt Casale, I've heard of him, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, the other
and
two
Luis
guys.
Matos.
What about the guy who hit
who's
you
a career
yesterday?
minor leaguer? The guy yesterday, I don't even know him.
I think it was Grant.
Yeah, Grant McCrae.
Yeah,
hits
something,
2
yes.
bombs. You know, that's tough to take.
The Giants actually, when I was talking to my friends, they're really excited about a couple of these guys, and I was like, "Who are
great
they?"
for them.
And then, of course, they go and hit.
They went
bunch of home
crazy.
runs.
Grant McCrae went 0 for 5 yesterday with 4 strikeouts, but
he was
Saturday night he hit 2 home runs, and so you lose to McCrae on Saturday, you lose to Encarnacion and Matos and Casale yesterday, and I'm sure I didn't hear Mike Schilt's post-game press conference yesterday. I'm kind of over most of his post-game press conferences, frankly, but I didn't hear it. I'm sure it had something to do with the fact that he was proud of the way his team fought back, and they did. They were down 7-1, and they got within 7-6, and then Tyler Wade got picked off, and that ended the 8th inning rally, and although, Profar gave it a pretty good ride there on the last out. It was a foul ball, actually, in the corner, but it didn't miss going out of the ballpark by a whole lot, but it missed, and the Giants beat you. And right now, style points don't matter, and good comebacks don't matter, and Luis Arraez, 3 for 5 doesn't matter. And Xander Bogaerts homering doesn't matter if you don't win right now. It's time. You got to win now.
It's crunch time.
That's it. Crunch time. Thank you. I mean, there's 81 and 64. There's 17 games left. I don't know how many you can win and lose. I don't even think that's important anymore. I mean, you could go 2 and 15. If the Braves and Mets go 0 and 17, I'll be fine. But I don't think the Braves and Mets are going to go 0 and 17. So, the Padres are going to have to get going here, get something done, and hopefully this road trip will get them squared away. Dylan Cease continues to pitch uneven. Certainly not superstar-like. He had his one incredible run in, what was it, July, when he had the no-hitter and when he didn't give up a hit for 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
We need some of that back now, and we need it soon. We can't have the Dylan Cease that coughs up a 3-run home run to some rookie batting 9th in the order.
That's true.
And losing that ball game Saturday night. And Joe Musgrove could not have been more dominant yesterday. But
until the 4th,
you got to be more. You can't be dominant for 3 innings. You got to be dominant for 6 or 7. And I think it was a stretch of. Joe said he'd never seen anything like it. It was a stretch of 10 pitches, and the Giants got 6 runs in those 10 pitches. But
he did not allow a base runner for 3 innings before giving up 7 straight hits, 3 of them home runs, and having the first 6 of those batters score in the 4th inning.
Yeah, one of them there was a fly ball that Fernando lost in the sun, and that's look. Everybody wants to rip Fernando for that. Go ahead, but you try to catch it. It's a really, really hard play. And these guys make it look easy 90% of the time. That one just never came out of the sun.
So I'm getting a lot of,
if it doesn't
someone tell Fernando to wear sunglasses? And so Fernando was asked about that. He said he's tried both. He doesn't like playing with sunglasses.
He catches all of them without the sunglasses.
Yeah.
That one never came out of the sun.
I say blame the stadium designer who didn't put up something to block the sun, Chris.
It's 107 degrees out there. The reason for that is the sun
is right there.
That is the reason. So, if Fernando had shades on, he probably would have missed it anyway. That ball, if you take fly balls in the sun, and I've taken my share over the years.
I've never.
You take your glove, and as soon as the ball goes up, sunglasses or not, as soon as the ball goes up, you take your glove, and these guys know this, and I wish Tony was here to kind of confirm this for me, but you put your glove in front of the sun. And then that allows you to then look around your glove and find the ball.
It's still difficult.
It's really difficult. But if the ball never comes out of the sun, and when you're looking around your glove and you can't see the ball because it stays in the sun, as that one did, you're at the ball and everything's mercy. So I'm not going to blame the loss on that, and Musgrove shouldn't and wouldn't blame it on that. One ball falls in, that doesn't mean you give up 5 more hits.
Exactly.
So, look, the Padres have a couple of things that they need to do right now, and one of them was discussed in the paper today, and I agree with it because I said it at the time. Before I get to it, let me first say, Mason McCoy, thumbs up, man. You have not hurt the team. You have not done anybody wrong. You've done pretty much everything they could ask. The bunts you've got down, a couple of hits here and there that we need. Your defense has been exemplary. But the fact of the matter is, Ha-Seong Kim is not ready to come back. And it's been too long now. I thought the Padres could live without Ha-Seong Kim for a week, 10 days, which is what originally we thought. Well, it's now going on 3 weeks. And Mason McCoy now is a black hole in the lineup, and I understand it's your number 9 guy, but you could improve it by getting Solano into the lineup.
But Solano's not hitting right now.
Solano's still at 288, and he's still a threat. And I would rather have Solano in the lineup as my DH, and I'll put Arise at first, and if I have to put Crony at short, or if I have to put him at second and Bogarts at short, I have to take that chance now. I can't wait around for Ha-Seong Kim to come back.
It doesn't really honestly sound like he's coming back.
Well, I don't know that.
I'm going to operate like he's not.
The Padres, never are clear with us.
But Mike Schultz said yesterday that he didn't have a setback, but he's not close.
Well, he didn't have a setback, but he didn't go forward.
But
that was Mike Schultz's way of wording it.
And believe me, with the
injury, I guess I did hear some of the press conference.
With the shoulder injury that I experienced, Chris, Ha-Seong Kim and I know you need to be ready when you come back.
He may end up needing surgery. I don't know, but I think they need to make the move, and now is the time to make it.
I think it's a big deal. I think it's a huge
deal. It is a big deal. You've got a day off in Seattle. Get Xander out there, hit him 150 ground balls. It'll come back to him. He used to be one of the great shortstops in baseball history. The guy was an MVP candidate, World Series winner. Get him back over there. Put Jake at second. Get Solano's bat in the lineup. And, on you go from there. Now, that's number one. The other thing is we got to wake up Fernando. hey, he's back. And I understand he did not take a, what do you call it, a little
Rehab assignment.
A rehab assignment to get his timing and all of those little things. But they didn't have time for that. They also don't have time to wait for him anymore. He's 6 for 24, which is mediocre. But worse, he's got only 2 doubles and 1 RBI.
He's got to walk
since
off
he's come back. Yeah, that was the RBI.
I know.
That was it. That's the only one he's had. Profar, I love him to death. You know it. Everyone knows it. I've been singing his praises all year. He can't bat third right now while he's hitting 190 since the All-Star break. He's too much in the middle of the lineup. If you think I'm panicking, fine, I'm not. I'm making decisions that I think are tough, but I do think need to be made right now. The Mets and the Braves are too close. You cannot, absolutely no way, no how, let this thing slip in the last 3 weeks.
No, they got to
just can't.
They got to make some adjustments now because
adjustments. That's right. It's not big changes. It's not a panic. It's not throwing out the bath water and the baby in it. Yeah, you just need to make a couple of little things here. I think Profar needs to move down. I don't know what you're going to do with Fernando, but you got to get him going. Like, Fernando, let's go. You're one of the best players in baseball. You need to start playing like it. And I think you got to get Solano's bat in at the expense of McCoy.
Are you ready to move Jackson Merrill to that third spot and put Profar in his spot?
I'm
ready. I'm ready to see it happen. Jackson Merrill clearly can hit. And he can clearly hit in this league, and he can clearly hit for power. He needs to be higher in the lineup right now.
I've been against it all year.
You have been, yes.
But I'm coming over to it.
Well, because we're in that mode.
Yes, it's 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks or nothing now. I'm not worried about the long-term future now of Jackson Merrill. I'm not worried about the long-term psyche of Jackson Merrill. I'm worried about what lineup is going to give me the best chance to win these games for the next 3 weeks, starting tomorrow in Seattle. And right now, Merrill is far more of a threat than Profar. That's it. For all season long, Profar's been magic. I've been begging and hoping the magic would come back. It hasn't. So I don't disagree with you, Skrabe. We'll see if Mike Schilt makes any of these moves. We'll see if Mike Schilt just says, Chris, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. I'll do what I want. And it may work out. But the thing to me is I need to do something. I know you think I'm not. But I think we got the team to make it, and I can't take a chance that it slips away right here. I just can't. I can't worry about it and worry about what people might think or what it might look like. And you know what? If none of it works and the media rips me for it at the end of the year, so what? I got to put my neck out there. I got to do what I got to do to try to make it happen.
There's one thing that Mike Schilt will do, and that's do unconventional things and say unconventional things. But Mike Schilt has to realize that they cannot afford to lose too many back-to-back games the rest of the season. And they've done it. I was just looking at the schedule. They didn't do it for a very long time coming out of the All-Star break. The first time they lost back-to-back games was August 21st and 22nd.
Yeah.
No, and then they in the last 2 weeks, they've done it twice.
Yeah. Well, you lost the crazy game Thursday night to the Tigers, but you lost it, unfortunately. And the Giants, like I said, you let guys beat you who shouldn't be beating anyone at this point. But that's what happened. And Musgrove, Cease did not have their best stuff, and you gotta bounce back. Now, that said, you go to Seattle, you go back to San Francisco, you take 4 out of 6, or 4, you got 5. Even 3 out of 5 will probably hold your ground. But it's getting that way. Look, the Astros come in here next week. They're not going to be messing around. I know the White Sox follow them. But you finish.
They don't care.
You finish. You finish at L.A. Dodgers at Arizona. Those are 6 brutally difficult games to finish the season. I would like to still have a 2 or 3 game, bit of, cushion before I go into those games. So
yes.
We talked. If you heard us on the roundtable last Thursday, you know what I'm saying. We talked openly like this team was really ready to make a World Series run. And in this quick of a time, baseball has jumped up and said, not so fast.
And that's where I gotta say, Chris says that he's not panicking, and I believe him, because if he was panicking, he would have much more dark doom and gloom thoughts.
No, I think they're still the best team out of this group.
They were exposed a little bit over the weekend.
I don't know. I don't even know what they were. I just know that they got to do better. They got to do better. They got to. To me, the lineup can be improved right now. I'm not going to move Fernando, but I'm going to wake him up. Fernando, let's go. We got to have something. Lay a bunt down. Draw a walk. Get on. We need you. Profar's got to drop down. Merrill's probably got to move up. And Solano's bat needs to be in there. Or Peralta. Either one at the DH. So that McCoy, has to go bye-bye for a while.
Yeah, because they were doing exactly what we were saying. Is have McCoy be the defensive specialist. Yeah. They don't need his bat, but now they need his bat. And
they need something. They need something there. All right, I'm probably overreacting, but I'm going to just tell you this: if they lose a couple of games in Seattle, you're not going to think I'm overreacting by Thursday or Friday.
No, if they lose tomorrow, I'm a little bit worried, Chris.
Look, we could wake up tomorrow a game and a half up. That's all. The Mets have only lost one game in the last 2 months, and that was yesterday, thankfully. But the Braves are there, the Mets are there, the Diamondbacks are there. We got to hold off one of them. I don't care how we do it, but we got to do it. I can't let this season get away. It's too good of a team to allow it to slip. And there's still 17 long games to go. But, I wish Tony were here because he'd try to calm me down. But here's the thing. Tony says it all the time. It's a marathon. You just got to play the percentages.
We're in the last mile, Chris.
It's not anymore. That's right. It's not anymore. It's a sprint now. And if it takes batting Merrill third for 3 weeks, then you better do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what they do. Padres, the situation is before them, but right now all they can do is watch tonight. They're off in Seattle tomorrow.
That team that we saw for the first month and a half after the All-Star break could easily come back just like that. Well, they could.
Yeah, let's see. Coming up on the show, I mentioned the good, bad, and ugly. We will recap in depth Week 1 of the National Football League season. It ends tonight with Skraby's 49ers debuting against Aaron Rodgers' New York Jets. It's really a pretty
showtime.
Yeah, not that good, but it's a good game. It's a good game. We're going to be carrying it for you right here on 97.3 The Fan. So that means we got to get out of here by 4:30 to make way for Monday Night Football. But before we get to that, we will have the good, the bad, and the ugly. We will have the Daily Gambit, the Big Five, Chris versus the Fans. We'll have a fantasy update. We got a lot to get to. It's good to be with you. And let's get it done. Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan.
Here's
Hi, welcome back to the program. 2:24 is the time. We're just getting underway for a Monday. Crisello, Matt Skraby together in our Odyssey Palace studios. Tony Gwynn Jr. is off today. Skraby, do you know who Javon Holland is? Should that name ring a bell to you?
I think it's a football player.
He is a football player. He wears number 8. He's the safety for the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, God, here we go.
And because of him, I'm in a better mood today. He was the guy that stripped the ball out of the hands of Travis Etienne in that game yesterday. Etienne was headed for the end zone in a 24-7 Jacksonville lead, but Holland punched it out at the 1-yard line, and the Dolphins were able to rally.
You know, you say
putting
that
in a little
49er
better
fans
spirits
are annoying, but at least
is that annoying?
At least my team is on this coast.
Yeah, well, but I don't. Okay, so
what about your guy Tyreek? What are we going to say about him?
Yeah, I wanted to get into that.
We will.
This is as good a time as any. Padres are idle tonight. We are headed towards Monday Night Football. The Dolphins, the day for the Dolphins started out, as strange as a day can start out. I was on Twitter yesterday morning, and the first thing I saw was Tyreek Hill lying face down on the ground, handcuffed. And I thought, this is an issue.
It's pretty crazy.
This is a bit of an issue.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And everybody knows, I think, the story by now. Tyreek Hill was driving recklessly, speeding, apparently, or allegedly, I should say. I don't have video of that. But he was pulled over for driving recklessly. Mm-hmm. He was about a block from the stadium and got out of the car. And or didn't get out of the car, whatever it is. Didn't apparently cooperate to the level that the officers were hoping he would cooperate. Ended up face down, handcuffed on the blacktop there.
Must have been hot too.
Yeah, it looked really, really bad.
It did.
For the police. I got to tell you, at first glance, this looked really, really awful. To be treating anybody, and never mind who it is. It's not the old, do you know who I am? If this was Joe, the concessionaire salesman, I wouldn't want to look up and see him face down on the blacktop. I mean, this kind of stuff has to stop. Tyreek Hill, after the game, said, I was cooperative. My mother didn't raise me that way. I don't know, what got everybody upset. All I knew is I was where I was. Here's the thing. And the officer was immediately placed on leave.
Yes.
And I think when people saw that was the
confirmation that Tyreek did nothing wrong.
Confirmation that the police officers were wrong. Tyreek Hill was right. And this police officer is going to be, relieved of his duties forever. And Tyreek Hill, is going to be whatever's going to happen. Well, a little while ago, the actual Miami-Dade Police Officers Union did put out a statement.
They did, yes.
And they said that Tyreek Hill was, quote, uncooperative. And they said he was only, I don't really get along with this too well. He was only redirected to the ground while in handcuffs because he refused orders to sit. Well,
doesn't mean force. You should use force.
I don't know that force needed to be used. I'm not a police officer. But I do want to say this. Tyreek, according to the statement, was briefly detained for driving in a manner in which he was putting himself and others in great danger. Upon being stopped, he was not immediately cooperative, pursuant to policy, and for their immediate safety, they placed Mr. Hill in handcuffs. Still uncooperative, he refused to sit and therefore was redirected to the ground. Here's the one thing before we all lose our minds and, hate the police for this. Not very many of us are taking a moment to think about it from the police perspective. All right? If you are with somebody who's uncooperative, and they thought he was apparently, you need to make sure that you yourself are not in any immediate danger as a police officer. And again, I'm not a police officer, but I'm guessing that that's pretty important to them. And so we are left. The look of him with his face down is the one that I can't get out of my head. And I, really wish we could avoid having to see anymore. And I am a Dolphins fan. but I'm not necessarily a Tyreek Hill fan. I root for him to score touchdowns on Sundays.
And he did.
That's about it. Here's the thing, Skraby. I don't know what happened here. I don't know who's right. I don't know who was wrong. I wasn't there. But I do know this. Tyreek Hill was once accused of punching his girlfriend. He once got kicked off a team at Oklahoma State after pleading guilty to domestic assault by battery and strangulation. He also was in Kansas City. They declined to charge him. Alleged domestic violence involving his 3-year-old and her fiance and 3-year-old. He also, last offseason, was under investigation for assault and battery after he got into an argument with somebody in South Florida and punched the guy. Tyreek Hill does not strike me as a guy who may have been 100% cooperative here.
Thank you.
He just doesn't.
And I'm not
It's
saying...
hard to give him the benefit of the doubt based on his past.
And here's
This guy,
the thing.
the guy pleaded guilty to strangling somebody.
Yeah.
How many ever years ago it was, he punched some guy last year when he got in an argument. I hope that he respects the authority of the police, and I hope that he behaved. But it's difficult to be on Tyreek Hill's side here. It's actually easier to be on the side of the officer, who I think acted a little bit out of sorts by, pushing his head down into the ground. But the officer has to make sure, as do all of the officers there, that they are not in any immediate danger. There's no threat to them.
And I know that Tyreek said that he didn't do anything that was,
That's what he said.
uncooperative.
Yeah, right. He said he was
Well, the
100%
body cams,
cooperative.
there have to be
but-
body cams in this whole thing. We're gonna see what happened,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna wait until then. But it's really easy, and I don't know that this is not what happened, but it's really easy for a police officer to pull you over and say, "Hey, we're gonna be giving you a ticket," and you say, "All right, I'm gonna get a ticket. Here's my license, registration," and you move on with your day. Now.
Maybe
they saw Tyreek and they're like, "Hey, we got to make a big deal.
We got to
out of
make a
this."
big deal out of this. I don't know. We don't know. But you're right, Skraby. Most of us in this room and listening to this show, for whatever reason, have been pulled over before and given a ticket. Not too many of us have been put in handcuffs during that situation and had their face shown the blacktop. So what led to that? Was it the
There's
officer
something.
overreacting? Was it Tyreek, giving him a little business? We don't know. We don't know, but I want to make sure you out there at least are thinking of both sides before you make up your mind here.
Correct.
Because I think a lot of people have made up their mind that this is another example of police gone crazy in a world where we can't trust the authority. And I think that's a dangerous thing to think at this point.
I think I think you're right about that. It's a dangerous thing. But if I'm seeing on the chat and I've seen all over social media, oh, the guy was just speeding. Who cares? What I've read, he was going 105 miles an hour on roads, like near the stadium. Like
I don't know.
That's not safe. People are walking to the stadium. Like, I don't care who you are. Do not drive 105 miles an hour while people are walking.
Well, we don't have any confirmation
No,
of that.
we don't.
So
But-
let's just
but
be
I-
careful with that.
I wanted to put it out there because people seem to think it's okay because Tyreek Hill was the one who was speeding. It's all right.
He was just speeding. If that's the case, even if he was just going 50 in a 30 zone and he got pulled over, I don't believe they're saying that he was handcuffed because he was speeding. He was handcuffed because he was being uncooperative. And we don't know what is the truth here.
We'll see.
Let's
find out.
just see.
We'll find out.
Now, if it comes out and there's a body camera and Tyreek Hill said, "Good morning, officer," and the guy reached in and grabbed him and handcuffed him and threw him on the ground, then let's
That's
throw
a
away the
problem.
book and
Huge
let's,
problem.
absolutely get rid of this officer and everybody around it.
We are waiting for more information.
We
is
need
what
more
we're
information, but I want to make sure you're at least taking a moment to think of both sides
saying. Because
here before
Tyreek
you
Hill
judge.
seems like, and I'm going in a jokey direction and during a serious topic, but Tyreek Hill seems like that guy who's going to be weaving through traffic at 120 miles an hour.
He does everything fast.
His nickname is Cheetah.
He does everything
We didn't
fast.
even say that Calais Campbell also stopped to try to de-escalate
And
the
he
situation.
was detained
He was
as well.
detained.
But he was detained as well.
So that's weird too.
Well, again, you don't know.
And I'm not saying Calais Campbell did anything wrong. I'm just saying there's a lot of weird going on, and we need to wait for everything.
Yeah. All right. In the end, it was a Dolphin victory, which in my mind is really what mattered most.
Did you think it was a good look on Tyreek to do a celebration of him getting arrested on the field?
Probably not.
I thought it was hilarious, but not a good look.
Right. Do I expect anything different from Tyreek?
No.
Exactly.
Jalen Waddle was the police officer arresting him, which I thought was hilarious. But it's like, Tyreek, if it comes out that you were being uncooperative, that's a terrible look.
Yes. And do we need to even mention that I don't believe, although people want to make it a race issue, I don't see a race issue here in any way, shape, or form, unless we find out that the officer was acting way out of pocket.
Correct.
If we find that out, then you can bring the race card into it, but not until then. Gwynn and Chris continues with a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of Week 1 NFL.
Gwynn.
Today in our Odyssey Palace studios, Tony Gwynn Jr., idle today. We'll have Tony back tomorrow. We'll have the Padres back tomorrow. They'll be in Seattle, take on the Mariners. Play a little scoreboard tonight, though, Skraby. Got to keep an eye on the Mets and Braves, who are both in action tonight.
Can they just go away? I'm
No,
so tired of the
apparently
Mets
not.
talk. It
You're
drives me
tired
nuts.
of the Mets talk?
It drives me nuts. The Mets were awful for the first part of this year. And all we could do was hear about how bad the Mets are. Now the Mets are great. And now, the Mets are going to win the World Series. I'm so tired of it.
All right. Well,
The Braves don't even deserve to be there anymore. They don't even have their
Wow.
best players.
Harsh,
Sorry
Skraby.
about that, Adam, but I said it and I meant it.
both teams are 78 and 65. Braves are home to the Reds today. Mets are at Toronto. I would tell you what the Dodgers are doing tonight, but I don't think anybody's really looking at catching them anymore.
I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know.
if the Padres can go 15-2 again, maybe
Okay.
they have a. They
no,
can
I
think
get that.
about it.
I get
but
that. Yeah, the division dreams are
Yeah.
not likely at
That's
this point.
kind of gone away. All right, we are the Monday ahead of the first Monday night football game. It is the 49ers and the Jets. It's right here on 97.3 The Fan. Let's take a recap of what happened in week 1 of the NFL. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And away we go with the good. Hate to do this to you, Skraby, but going to start with the Chiefs.
Oh, it's okay.
You know,
They did win.
They've won 2 straight Super Bowls, and it didn't hurt, apparently, that they added the fastest guy in football. Xavier Worthy showed what he could do in the Chiefs' opening night win over Baltimore.
Now the Chiefs will bring it on an end around to Xavier Worthy at the 20, 15 of the Ravens, 10, 5, touchdown! Kansas City rookie Xavier Worthy on a perfectly executed, well-blocked end around, right to left on a 21-yarder.
Wait, what was that at the end?
Well, I don't know, but he went so fast, I'm surprised the guy was able to even say 10-5 touchdown Kansas City.
It's our guy Mitch Holtis.
And Mitch, man, he was in there in a hurry, I'll tell you that. Worthy scored 2 touchdowns. Chiefs held off the Ravens by a toe, 27-20.
I hate to break this up, but Sandy said something in the chat that I should bring up. The Mets announcers apparently yesterday on their TV broadcast said that the Padres have the best chance of getting to the postseason.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, that's.
I just wanted to apologize.
Could have ducked
to
that
Mets
in
fans.
later.
Yeah.
Also in the good category yesterday, this is even tougher to admit, but Jim Harbaugh debuts successfully. Chargers didn't do anything in the first half, but their defense held up against the Las Vegas Raiders, and then J.K. Dobbins came a running in the second half.
Hand off to J.K. through the line. Breaks a tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. J.K. Dobbins from 12 yards out.
I don't know if he's listening out there, but I kind of miss Hacksaw. Touchdown, San Diego!
Well, you can't say that anymore.
I know, but it was still cool. J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. He had 131 yards after halftime. Chargers Harbaugh era starts with a win, 22-10.
You got to be embarrassed
over
the
Las
Raiders.
Vegas.
I didn't think they were going to look that bad, but they
Jim
looked that
Harbaugh
bad.
can coach. I don't know what it is. The guy can coach, and they play at Carolina this weekend. The Chargers do. So, get ready for 2-0. Also in the good category, the season's first overtime game. It was last night in Detroit. The Lions blew a big lead, but then ended up holding off the Rams. David Montgomery decided it, but the Lions also have a new wide receiver here that's looking pretty good.
Damo inside the 20. Got it. 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Jamison Williams. Like a lightning bolt from Jared Goff, 52 yards.
Yeah, Jamison Williams is fast.
He is.
And with him on the other side, they were quadruple teaming Amon-Ra St. Brown last night because I never even saw him in the game.
He wasn't in the
But
game.
they weren't
bothering.
They weren't bothering to cover Jamison Williams though, and the Lions beat the Rams in OT 26-20.
He could be their X factor this year. I think he's going to have a huge year.
We'll see. Of course, the overtime sparked controversy again. Should the Rams get a possession? No. How about stopping them, 80 yards before they get into the end zone? I know at the Super Bowl you get possessions. That seems more fair.
Yes, because
but
it's
regular
a do or die.
regular season, I don't have time for it.
Yeah,
stop
I agree
the
with
team.
you. I agree with you.
Sorry, Rams. In the bad category, this one was not just bad for the Bengals. This was bad for about 50% of football fans across the country who are doing exactly that today because they are out of the survivor pool in week 1 thanks to the Patriots.
Stevens in the back. He takes the handoff. He runs it to the right side. He's into the end zone. Touchdown!
Touchdown Patriots. Where was Joe Burrow? Where was Jamar Chase? Where was everybody? New England beats the Bengals in Cincy 16-10. We'll get into the survivor pool later, but suffice to say, not as many people are remaining today as who started that.
I hate Survivor.
If you're going to get out, you might as well just eliminate it right away.
There's nothing worse than being eliminated. Spoiler alert, I got eliminated because I took the Bengals. The stupid Bengals.
You and everybody else,
And
though.
then all these people on the internet saying, oh, you should have taken whoever played the Panthers. The Saints weren't supposed to put up 47 points on the Panthers or whatever they did.
Wouldn't expect it. Staying in the bad category, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not only did they win yesterday, Michael Valenzuela, but the Steelers were the only team in that division to win. They're alone in first place after kicking 6 field goals in Atlanta. T.J. Watt and company made life miserable for the very rich but not very good Kirk Cousins. Final score, Pittsburgh 18, Atlanta 10.
This game was so boring that there was no highlights.
No highlights from this game. Sorry, we can't make one up for you. Friday night in Brazil, Philadelphia beat Green Bay. This is in the bad category for a couple of reasons. One, because the turf, once again, was terrible. And, look, I don't know if you blame the turf for it, but at the end, Jordan Love tore his MCL.
I think that was more of like a falling and
the turf may have had something to do. Who knows? The NFL keeps, expanding its game without caring about the health of its players. The NFL is just full of crap because their whole thing is we care about the players, but they don't. They send them halfway around the world to play on lousy turf.
True.
And it was an exciting game. Saquon's Barkley.
Oh, yeah.
3 touchdowns. He never did that once with the Giants.
Never had a 3-touchdown game?
Never.
I would have figured at least once.
I know. But this was the biggest play of them all for the Eagles.
And the gun is Hurts. Barkley was left. Slot to the near side. Hurts back. Here comes the rush. He steps into it. He is going deep. It is caught. Complete. A.J. Brown to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, the 5. Touchdown! Hurst to Brown! 67 yards.
Merrill Reese has been doing Eagles games since 1977.
I think it's time.
Can you believe that?
I think it's time.
I still love the voice. He didn't see much of that play, though, I don't
I
think.
was going to say. Was he, like, and this is an honest question, did he make the trip?
I that's a fair question, actually, in this day and age. Eagles beat the Packers 34-29. News on Jordan Love, 3 to 6 weeks. MCL, no good for the Pack. Into the ugly category we go. And I have a feeling we may see these guys in the ugly category often this year. I picked the Carolina Panthers as my upset pick this week. What was I thinking?
I don't know.
Add forgettable quotes. Yeah, the Panthers are going to do something this year. Yeah, they're going to pick up where they left off last year.
Out of the shotgun is Carr. Panthers bring 4. Carr stands now, fires it deep. Middle of the field. Rashid Shaheed. See you later. Bye. Touchdown, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
He's a San Diego guy.
There was a lot of that going on. New Orleans 47, Carolina 10. The highlight for me was a Twitter post of some cornerback on the Panthers trying to get in the face of Derek Carr later in the game, and Derek Carr looking back at the guy, and you can read his lips going, I've already burned you for 3 touchdowns. Like, are you kidding me? You're popping off down 40-0?
I do love that.
Oh, please. Ugly New York Football Giants. Ooh. First of all, the uniforms.
I like the helmets.
They were kind of tough to watch.
The rest of the uniforms are nasty.
It was ugly. Daniel Jones was ugly. The Giants, I mean, they were the only team, I think, that didn't get 10 points yesterday. They only got 6. Kevin O'Connell's mastery of quarterbacks. Sam Darnold went like 13 for 13 to start the game. And Andrew Van Ginkel finished it off.
And here comes Daniel Jones, 12 of 22 for 111 yards. Vikes lead 21-6. Jones. Oh, he threw it to Van Ginkel. Touchdown! That's the 4th touchdown in Andrew Van Ginkel's career. And he read Daniel Jones like a book. And that book had a happy ending. 27-6, Minnesota.
That's my guy, Paul Allen, for the Vikings there. Good giveaway, Dolphins. Andrew Van Ginkel, let him go.
Let's
28-6, Minnesota.
I think there's a stat out there that Daniel Jones, since signing his big deal, has thrown more pick sixes than actual touchdowns. I would have to go back and look at that. But Daniel Jones has been a disaster for the Giants.
Atrocious. Atrocious.
Disaster.
All right, finally, ugly category. This is a combined winner. The rookie quarterbacks making their debuts yesterday. Now, maybe we should have seen it coming. Caleb Williams looked really bad.
He looked terrible.
He
was like running 30 yards back.
He looked awful. Jaden Daniels had some moments.
Yeah, he did.
But still lost. Bo Nix had a moment or two, but only 138 yards and 2 picks. Bottom line is the rookie quarterbacks combined to throw no touchdowns in their debuts yesterday. But the Bears presented Caleb Williams with a win, one that he's probably taking credit for.
Yeah, he didn't.
But he doesn't deserve it. It was the Bears' defense and special teams.
Stonehouse back deep to our left. DeAndre Carter. Pressure block on the ground. Picked up to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone for the touchdown on the block punt by the Bears.
Yeah, it was the Bears coming back from 17-0 down because of that defense.
Will Levis was awful.
Will Levis threw a fumbled or whatever. That one was taken in for the winning touchdown by Simone Biles' husband.
Oh, finally.
For the Bears.
Oh,
yeah, he
okay.
showed up on that winning touchdown. But I'm sorry if you think Caleb Williams is the greatest thing ever, 93 yards passing is all you got to show for it yesterday. He didn't throw an interception, so let's give him some credit.
And he'll get better. I could see why.
Oh, he'll get better.
I can see why he's touted as like a great talent because he can make some throws.
But his arrogance on the Hard Knocks show that he already knows everything, and I don't get nervous. I don't get nervous. I'm too big for all this. Yeah, please. I loved every minute of his struggles yesterday.
I didn't watch Hard Knocks at all.
I loved every minute of his struggles yesterday. Bears over the Titans. The other guys, Daniels and Washington, lost in Tampa Bay. Bo Nix in Seattle lost, or Denver lost in Seattle. All right. Good job by Skraby on the highlights.
Good
Week
job
one
by
is in the books.
the football teams.
Yep, the good, the bad, the ugly. Don't forget Monday Night Football coming your way with the 49ers and the Jets. Marquee matchup. And there's a lot of players tonight that you can watch.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, from McCaffrey and Debo and Ayuk
Garrett Wilson
to Garrett Wilson
Aaron
and Breece
Rodgers.
Hall, Aaron Rodgers.
Sauce on the defensive side.
Sauce. Oh,
Debo.
Sauce against Samuel tonight.
I have a feeling Debo said that it doesn't bother him that Brandon Ayuk got a big contract, even though he's coming up
I
on a
bet
contract.
he's bothered by it.
He's definitely bothered by it.
Yeah. Don't forget about your guy, Broccoli Purdy.
Broccoli Purdy. He's been in a ton of commercials as of late.
All right. We're coming up on Monday Night Football, but that's still 90 minutes away. Next up, it's the Daily Gambit on Gwynn and Chris. And we head on into hour number 2 here. Welcome to it. Chris Ello, Matt Skraby together in our Odyssey Palace studios today. Tony Gwynn Jr. is idle. He'll be back with us tomorrow. From Seattle, that's where the Padres will play the Mariners. Little 2-game series to start off a 5-game road trip that includes a trip to San Francisco. The Giants took the Padres the last 2 days. Like, who are these guys?
The Giants have been so bad lately.
McRae, 2 home runs. Encarnacion, Matos, Casali. Got beat by really a bunch of borderline minor
at least
leaguers.
Matt Chapman did something. That's a
I was going to say, if Matt Chapman does something, I can live with it. You got beat by borderline minor leaguers the last 2 days. Padres lead in the wild card. Now a scant 2 games over the hard-charging Braves and Mets. Braves are home to Cincinnati tonight. Mets are in Toronto. Let me double-check that. I think that's right. Yeah. Diamondbacks are idle tonight, but by the time the Padres take the field tomorrow, their lead could be a game and a half in the wild card, and that's getting a little too close for comfort.
Especially for those who lived through 2021 like me and you.
I know.
Show.
I really don't think it's going to get away. I think this Padre team is too good, but we talked about it at the beginning, Skraby. I think it's time to move Bogarts to short because I don't see Hassan Kim coming back anytime soon, and getting Solano and or Peralta's bat back in the order. And I think you got to consider switching Jackson Merrill and Jurickson Profar. Nobody loves Profar more than I do, but right now that has nothing to do with it. The only thing that has to do with it now is getting some wins, and you've got to have them.
I have to know how. I have to think that Profar, playing all the games that he has with his hurt knee this year, he's got to be hurting or something.
Could be wearing down a little.
Or...
Maybe he's just not as good as he was. I mean, is that fair?
No,
and I don't
because
mean
it's
it in
the
a
same
negative light.
It's in the same season, so
I don't mean it in a negative light. But Jurickson Profar is not a 320 hitter.
Okay, well that's different. Yes,
okay.
He's not a 320 hitter, but he was a guy who carried the team for a lot of this season. Most of this season.
If he stopped right now, 22 home runs, 82 RBIs would both be career highs.
Yeah.
All right? That's with 3 weeks to go. He's been amazing, but his batting averages over the years, 254, 278, that was with the Padres in the short year, 2020. 227, 243, 242. He was hitting 320 for most of the season. That wasn't going to hold up, unfortunately. We'll see. Padres, like I said, back at it tomorrow. We'll worry about it then. Before we get to the Daily Gambit, a couple of NFL notes to discuss, because I know there's people with fantasy rosters out there that are concerned about the likes of, say, Puka Nacua.
Me.
Who went out of the game yesterday.
What a loser.
What a loser.
I'm just kidding.
You are so mean to guys that get hurt.
No, I'm so mean to guys in my own football division.
You're so bad.
No, it is. It's
Puka
it's
Nacua,
sad to see
knee
this.
injury last night, going to be placed on injured reserve. That means he misses a minimum of 4 games. That is not what Puka Nacua owners had in mind. Cooper Kupp picked up the slack, though, slightly.
Slightly. Are you kidding
14
me?
catches he had last night.
He had like 20-something targets.
Yeah, there was no Puka Nacua. The other injury today, Josh Allen. He's kind of an important guy for a lot of people's roster. Hand injury.
Yeah.
They were concerned. Not concerned anymore. Sean McDermott said he passed through everything. Sean McDermott. This is Buffalo.
Oh, sorry.
Allen will be okay. He'll practice this week and be ready to torture and terrorize the Dolphins on Thursday night. in Miami.
The Bills.
He always terrorizes Miami, so I just kind of getting that out of the way.
The Bills, they looked pretty terrible in the beginning of that game. I gotta say,
Miami looked pretty terrible in the beginning of their game, and I know you don't want me to talk too much about Miami, so I won't. But I honestly was happy to see them win a game in which they faced a little, some obstacles. Miami's the type of team that rolls beautifully when everything's working.
It does.
Normally, when it's not, though, they go away. But I thought, yesterday they were down the whole game. They weren't playing well. I was happy the way they won that game. Anyway, let's see. A couple of other things. This doesn't matter too much to a lot of people, but the Commanders cut their field goal kicker. That's what happens when you miss 2 field goals on the opening week of the season. See you later. And this story, which I have to get to, in the NFL. Deshaun Watson could not have played any worse yesterday, to my great delight. But now another lawsuit has been filed against this guy, accusing him of sexual assault and battery. Again, it was back in October of 2020, so I'm sure there's many who think it's a little weak coming up with this now. But on top of the other 24 cases against this guy, it's just another reason why the Browns are one of the stupidest organizations in sports. But they're paying the price for it because Deshaun Watson's just terrible. And they owe him $230 million. Actually, they don't owe it to him. They've already given it to him. $230 million.
Guaranteed?
Yeah. 24 lawsuits filed against him in 2022. And now more for Deshaun Watson to deal with. All right, let's get to some winners, losers. Got a lot of it from the weekend Daily Gambit time.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. I'm going to review all the bets that we made on Friday, but I have this to start off our NFL betting. This was posted by @BR Betting, Bleacher Report Betting. This person put together a joke bet that ended up hitting. They put 10 cents down.
Okay.
On a 5-pick parlay, and all of these players had to score the first touchdown in their game.
In their game.
So it was plus 13,721,300 on the odds. Needed Travis Etienne to score first? Happened. Kyle Pitts to score first? Happened. Tony Pollard to score first? It happened. Rashid Shaheed to score first? It happened. Aaron Jones to score first? It happened.
Wow.
So they hit on this. They bet 10 cents. They got $13,000 on this.
All right.
So sometimes if you're going to make a joke bet, note to self, put down 10 cents.
Put down 10 cents. Yeah, you won't mind if you lose. $13,000 on that.
Yeah.
5 guys got the first touchdown of the game.
That's insane.
That's pretty. And it wasn't exactly 5-star players either.
No, it was 5 random players.
5 random players. That's an interesting
yes,
one.
I wanted to bring that
Skraby.
up, though, because we talk about these crazy bets all the time. If you're going to make a crazy bet for 10 cents.
Bet a dime. Yeah, that's smart.
All right. Eagles were 2-point favorites over the Pack on Friday night, and Chris chose the Eagles. I chose the Packers. The Eagles won 34-29, so Chris wins that one. More rushing yards, Saquon Barkley or Josh Jacobs. Chris chose Jacobs. I chose Saquon. Saquon had 109 versus the 84 for Josh Jacobs, so I win that one. Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, who had more passing yards. Both of us chose Love. Both of us were wrong. Jalen Hurts had 278.
We would have won that one if Love didn't get hurt with one play to go in the game.
I don't know if that's true.
He might have thrown one desperation pass for 20 yards.
He could have. You're right.
You never know.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oregon State. We haven't even talked about this yet,
Yeah,
Chris.
well, there's a reason we haven't talked about this.
They
There wasn't
were-
a lot to talk about.
They were 6-point favorites over the Aztecs on Saturday night. Chris chose the Aztecs. I chose the Beavas. And the Beavas won 21-0. 21-0 doesn't describe. I mean, it was closer than that for most
Right,
of the game.
21-0's a little unfair because it sounds like you just got demolished. It was 7-0 for most of the game. And the Aztecs also had a drive down inside the 5-yard line where the freshman quarterback, fumbled the ball, trying to get into the end zone. But I know Aztec fans are like, oh, more of the same, and we're never going to score again. And Sean Lewis, and he doesn't know. I still like what I'm seeing out there. They played a better team this week, and they're not quite ready to step up to that level. Doesn't mean they won't at some point be ready to. This is still a freshman quarterback. You have to give at least mid-season before you really start making a rating. And until they can stop committing penalties on every other play, it really doesn't matter what this poor quarterback does. Skraby, he's in 2nd and 19 every possession.
It's true.
They've got to stop doing that.
Yeah, 2nd and forever is never going to work.
No, they made 8 more penalties in the first half, and that stopped every one of their drives. You cannot keep doing that. And, I know Sean Lewis knows that. I'm not telling him something he doesn't know. But until that cleans up, I don't even know if I can worry about the freshman quarterback because, sorry to say this, but Patrick Mahomes isn't going to be too successful on 2nd and 19 all day long. He might hit a few of them.
He might be the only guy.
Right, he might be, but you know what I mean? It's just not, you can't do that to a freshman quarterback.
No, and Sean Lewis, after the game, took full responsibility. They got another tough game coming up against Cal.
Yeah, Cal beat Auburn this week, which is not a bad win for Cal.
Not a bad win at all. So, not good for the Aztecs, though.
All right.
We'll see how that all works out. All right, LSU minus 48.5 on the spread over Nicholls State. I chose Nicholls State. Chris chose LSU. It was 44-21 LSU. But
Come
I went
on,
the
LSU. Just fire that idiot coach, Brian Kelly. Let him take all his money and leave us all alone. Ugh.
But where's his accent going to go? That was a terrible accent. I'm never going to try that one again. Even though I've done a better Southern accent with Brian Kelly before.
Brian Kelly. Ugh. What a waste of money that was, LSU fans. Sorry.
Or Oregon Ducks minus 19 over Boise State. You chose Oregon. I chose Boise. Oregon won, but they only won by 3.
Oregon was the 3rd-ranked team at the beginning of this season, which is why you just shouldn't have preseason rankings. Oregon's obviously not that good, at least not yet.
I was thinking a lot about the preseason
Boise State
rankings.
had this game. Oregon had to pull it out right at the very end, the last play of the game, field goal.
For some reason, I was thinking about this all weekend long, about the preseason rankings. They should just not have any, and everybody starts at the same spot, and then you rank them.
At the end of the first month or the end of October. That's what they should do, but they'll never do it because they know it gets eyeballs. People want to watch the ranked teams, even if they don't deserve to be ranked. They don't deserve to be ranked.
All right, Caitlin Clark, big news in the WNBA. Angel Reese announced that she's going to be out for the season, so it looks like Caitlin Clark's going to win Rookie of the Year due to that. But Caitlin Clark over under 20.5 points in the game on Friday. Chris went under. I went over. She had 25.
Can I just say that this injury to Angel Reese has avoided one of the biggest controversies we were ever going to have in the history of sports.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was the Hatfields and the McCoys people on this. Caitlin Clark, clearly the Rookie of the Year. No, Angel Reese, clearly the Rookie of the Year, and you're an idiot for thinking otherwise. Thankfully, this got decided. Caitlin Clark has really been good, though. For 2.5 months, Angel Reese has been really good, too. But Caitlin Clark's led her team into the playoffs. Angel Reese obviously didn't get her team to that point.
Yeah.
I would have felt that Caitlin Clark was going to win anyway. But it was, man, what a crazy controversy that all was. I mean, people were really emotional about that.
Emotional is a good word for it.
All right.
The final thing, Michael King over under 6.5 strikeouts Friday against the Giants. We both went over. He had 8 Ks.
All right, you had a good game. You were 5-3. I didn't do well.
All right, I have 2 prop bets before we go.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey over under 113.5 rushing plus receiving yards, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over.
He normally gets that in the first quarter.
I was going to say. So
He's
you're
so
over?
elusive. 113. The Jets are awfully good, though.
I'm really concerned, actually, about his calf injury that has been slightly mysterious this whole preseason.
113 is going to be a good night for him, but he's so good. They go to him so many different ways. I'll say under.
Under.
After having said that, yeah.
All right.
That's a
then
lot.
Aaron Rodgers, over under 233.5 passing yards.
I don't see how he's going to make it if he can't get through the first series without getting injured. So,
So under.
which is what I'll be rooting for. Isn't that terrible?
It doesn't. Yes,
It's
that is
terrible, but it's kind of true. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers have any success at all.
Although
I'm tired and over this guy.
I really enjoyed last year when they said Aaron Rodgers' highlight package was him running out with the flag before the
That's
game.
all that happened last year.
I'm going to say over.
How many?
I'm going to say 233.5.
Against the 49ers?
The 49ers secondary is not good.
All right. I'll say under
All
also.
right, that's it.
All right, here we go with our stuff for tonight. I got a few of them, but let's start with your game. Niners, Jets, over under 43 points, Skrabe. How you seeing this game tonight?
That's a lot.
That's 6 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. 43
I think it's going to be
points.
under.
Under?
Yeah.
These two teams are both, I think, really good defensively. I think it's hard to bet under in any NFL game, though, because points just keep on coming.
They do.
But you're right. I mean, can the 49ers 20? I'll say over just because I have a weird feeling.
Lots of scoring in this one.
Slip, not a lot, but I think enough to slip over that line.
Okay.
All right, who's going to complete more passes? Aaron Rodgers or Broccoli Purdy?
Stop calling him that.
I like that name, Broccoli Purdy. Who are you going with? Or I'm first here.
Okay.
I'm going to go with your guy. Because, again, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to make it. Purdy
so
dumping off to McCaffrey. I'll say Purdy has more completions.
I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers has more completions.
All right. Got ya. Who has more rushing yards, only rushing? Breece Hall or Christian McCaffrey? You're up for this one.
Breece Hall helped me win my championship last year.
Yes, he did.
He was very good.
He's very good.
I'm going to say CMC, though.
He's running against an awfully good, but
Yeah,
so is McCaffrey. That's a tough one. I'll say Breece Hall just to have some fun. Debo or Brandon Ayuk? More receiving yards. You know, I don't know who Sauce Gardner's going to guard, right? But I think Debo will get free because they use him in crazier ways.
Different ways.
Ayuk also, I don't think is going to make the whole game. I think, what? Well, they're going to take him out here and there. He didn't go to practice very much. I don't think he's ready. I'm going Debo is why I'm doing that. For Ayuk, just not ready to play a full 60 minutes.
I agree with you. I'm going Debo.
Go Debo.
I also think they want to make him happy early.
Yeah, they better make Debo happy. If he gets mad, look out.
Well, if he gets mad, he'll just pretend like he doesn't want to play for the team anymore. Again.
Like everybody else does, and then they get their money.
Did you see what happened with Brandon Ayuk? 49ers said, hey, we have this trade. By the end of the day, we're going to trade you. You tell us not to, and we won't. And he finally said, all right, I want to stay here.
Whatever. I don't
It's like,
believe
dude, what?
I don't believe Brandon Ayuk in any way, shape, or form. But as it turned out, the 49ers gave in and gave him what he wanted. Way too much money for a number 2 receiver. On to baseball. Paul Skeens is on the mound tonight. Your guy.
Who's that?
Paul Skeens.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
No,
6.5 strikeouts against.
He's still playing, or he's still pitching well.
He's pitching well, but Jackson Merrill keeps hitting home runs.
That's
and
true.
Keeping that Rookie of the Year lead. 6.5 strikeouts against the Marlins.
I'm going to go, against the Marlins, I'm going over.
Over. He's due for an over. He's been stuck at like 5 or 6 Ks lately. Dodgers Cubs tonight in L.A. Kyle Hendricks and Walker Buehler. Can they combine to keep the teams under 10 runs? No, they cannot. Kyle Hendricks is really not good. Bueller's been bad too.
I've seen.
I say over.
I saw Kyle Hendricks pitch against the Twins when I was at Wrigley.
Yeah.
Didn't go well for him, so I'm going to go over.
Over as well. And finally, which team scores more runs tonight? The Mets at Toronto or the Braves at home versus Cincinnati? It's a tough one because we're rooting against both teams. Who's going to score more runs tonight, Skraby? The Braves are at home. The Mets are in Toronto.
I mean, the Mets have been so good. I'm going to say the Mets.
The Mets. All right, I'll say the Braves at home. And we'll see how we do tomorrow on that. All right, break time. Check of traffic. When we come back, we're coming up on the Big Five. But I want to, we're doing your Eliminator League update in the 4 o'clock hour.
Yeah, 4:20, yeah.
But I still think people are thinking about fantasy football. And yesterday was a really weird day. A really weird weekend. I'll explain when we come back on Gwynn and Chris.
from the 97.3.
Hi. Hey. How are you? 3:26 the time. Chris Ello. Mr. Skraby alongside. Gwynn and Chris. 97.3 The Fan. Tony Gwynn Jr. is idle today. We'll talk with him tomorrow. He'll be in Seattle with the Padres. Padres, I imagine, are there, out of the heat, getting ready.
Is it hot up in Seattle?
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly.
Let me see.
Probably not quite this hot.
It's a nice 70 degrees. It'll be 68 degrees tomorrow night with some cloud cover.
In Seattle?
Yes, and 62 degrees in Seattle on Wednesday.
May have to go up to that game tomorrow.
It's actually supposed to cool down.
You think tomorrow's the day it'll cool down?
Let me see.
You're my weather guy?
Well, yes, of course.
You're going to be my weather guy.
I'm Al Roker. Are you kidding me?
Al Roker.
On Wednesday, it's supposed to be 75.
Yeah, it's Wednesday, I heard.
Yeah,
I don't know about
tomorrow's 83, it says, for Carlsbad.
Doable.
I melted this weekend. So.
It's been hot for everybody.
Are you serious? Like, it's been more than hot.
Yeah,
I'm not humid too. It's just
not going to complain. We could live elsewhere.
You know what popped up on my phone recently, and it's about the weather. It was you being so upset about the hurricane last year that never actually came.
I was upset about
and so
that.
I had to go back and look for it, and I was listening to it, and it was hilarious. You're like, where is this hurricane? I changed my entire weekend around for this hurricane, and it never happened.
Everybody changed their weekend around for that hurricane that never happened.
That
is funny. I recall that. Fantasy football, everybody's into it. Week 1. We already applauded Skraby for winning the baseball title for a second year in a row.
Double champ is here.
So having done that, I can say that you did lose your first weekend of football. You didn't do well.
I got crushed.
Tony was a winner. I come down to one thing and one thing only tonight. I'll put it out there so you can root against me if you wish, or maybe you want to send some positive vibes my way. But I'm winning by exactly 11.5 points, and I'm facing the 49er kicker tonight. So it's as simple as that. If he scores 12 points, I lose. If he scores 11 or fewer, I win. That's it. And you wouldn't think it matters, Skraby. It's only the first week of fantasy football. I hate to say it like this. I feel like my entire week's worth of happiness is riding on what happens in this situation.
When I stopped drinking, I let all that stuff go.
You let it all go.
I used to be hardcore. It will bother me. I will be an angry human being.
I'm going to be an angry human being if he makes his 12th point tonight. There's no two ways about it.
He's not going to, because the 49ers are going to score a bunch of touchdowns.
11 touchdowns?
Just extra points.
And
everywhere.
only extra points? Well, I hope you're right. But that's what my game comes down to tonight. So if the 49er kicker, who is Jake Moody, if he gets 12 points worth of fantasy, consider me to be a miserable human being tonight.
Well, I mean, I lost if we're going to talk about my winnings, I got to talk about my losings. And
yeah.
I lost by 42 points, 137 to 95. So that was
well, if you're going to lose, you might as well let it all hang out.
That was great.
I thought it was an interesting week, though, because you look at some of these players in fantasy. Jaden Daniels versus Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Jaden Daniels, who really wasn't very good in the game, still scored 28.2. Kirk Cousins scored 6.2.
Kirk Cousins looked like Kirk Cousins.
He did. Running backs. Did you have J.K. Dobbins or
Did not.
Rashad Stevenson?
Oh, Ramondre.
I'm Ramondre Stevenson, thank you. 22.9 for Dobbins, 21.6 for Stevenson. I left Dobbins on my bench, which probably seemed like a good idea at the time.
You wouldn't have started him.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It was a good idea at the time. I wish I had started him. On the loser side for running backs, you could have had Javonte Williams, 3.3, or last year's touchdown champion, Raheem Mostert, 3.9. So those were bad games. The receivers is where it really stood out. I did start Jaden Reed, 34.6. Cooper Kupp, a lot of people were forgotten about Cooper Kupp for some reason.
Yeah.
I saw Puka Nacua rated ahead of him by almost every place. Cooper Kupp scored 32 last night.
14. Did he have more than 14
14
catches?
receptions.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
On the other side, I could see a lot of teams out there fielding this three-man receiving lineup. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Marvin Harrison, and Chris Olave. If you did that, congratulations on your 8.8 points. 8.8 points combined. Total.
Oh, man.
For those three guys. Tight ends. Who are you more likely to draft if you were looking in the Baltimore direction? Mark Andrews 3.4 or Isaiah Likely 26.6?
I don't think that's going to happen again.
Well, we'll see. It was a strange week. If you put together the lowest score possible among players that, you'd like, 27 points, the winning score 219 if you took the high-end guys.
It was a weird
Life
week.
in fantasy football. You can't overreact after week one.
No,
that's always a thing with fantasy football.
But it's frustrating when you have players that are supposed to score.
If you have
and
Amon-Ra St. Brown, he was the 4th overall pick in the league, or 5th. You're like, when are we going to throw to this guy?
Yeah.
And the thing was with him, he didn't have any bad games last year, like ever. But he had one yesterday or last night.
Kyler Murray had he had a good first half, and then he had a terrible second half.
Yeah.
And he didn't throw it to Marvin Harrison Jr., even though there literally was no one within like 20 yards of him. So
that hurts.
It does.
That hurts.
But I can't say that I'm surprised. Marvin Harrison Jr.
There's a lot of funny things that happen in fantasy football. I know Jerome Ford for Cleveland scored a who cares touchdown with like 5 seconds to go in the game.
And that was amazing.
That's a big
for
touchdown for a lot of people. And same goes for Jaden Daniels, who got one late for Washington and took it away from Brian Robinson, who I needed to score that touchdown. It's so funny what we root for because we're fantasy football fans.
Of course.
Has nothing to do with the actual game on the field.
No, of course not. And you know who else? If you had Chris Boswell, who was the kicker for the Steelers, you had a lot of points.
26.
Brandon
Aubrey almost tried a 71-yard field goal.
Which is crazy.
He was ready for a 66-yarder, which would have, I think, tied Justin Tucker's record. And then they got a penalty and moved him back, and he was still out on the field for the 71-yarder.
I wanted to see
And then the Browns called timeout. And Mike McCarthy changed his mind. First of all, what are the Browns calling timeout? Are you trying to jinx him from 71 yards?
You're icing him from 71?
Icing him from there?
And don't let them have time to think about it, because you could have returned that.
You could have blocked and returned that, sure.
I said that the kickoff was going to be exciting. And it for the most part, it's not, but there are times where you can see why the idea is
We did have one
there.
brought back yesterday. You're right. The kid for the Cardinals, DJ Dallas.
Yeah.
But other than that, almost every kickoff was just a touchback and not much to do about it.
Now, my question was, and I didn't see any of this because I know that the Seahawks were or the Broncos defense got 2 safeties on the Seahawks yesterday.
That was strange, yes.
Do they still have everyone run down the field when you punt it away?
Yes, on a safety.
See, that's so weird.
I know. It's like the old style kickoff. And college football hasn't changed their kickoff.
No.
So evidently it's safe enough for those guys. Just not safe enough for the NFL.
Just like in high school.
Yeah. There's so many weird things about all that.
All of it.
All right. Big Five's next. Gwynn and Chris keeps on rolling.
Ben and Woods on the Fan.
The biggest question going forward is our cavalry that was supposed to come. There was one man left on the cavalry, and it doesn't, is this absurd to say? Have we seen the last of Hassan Kim in a Padres uniform?
Wow. I had not gone to those lengths.
The depths of my despair?
So he's swinging the bat, but the throw from shortstop continues to give him trouble. He can't throw at full strength, which means at this point he has to remain on the injured list.
Listen to Ben and Woods weekdays from 6 to 10 on 97.3 The Fan.
Tech scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry, McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning security for just $3.33 a month during your first year. Billed annually, cancel anytime, terms apply.
This is Katie's quiet time. Luckily, Cox Mobile helps her save money, so she bought
noise-canceling headphones connected.
Ah, that's the smart way to quiet time, Katie. Relax. If you're a Cox Internet customer, you'll pay as low as $30 a line. And with Cox Mobile, you'll run on the network that over 100 million people already rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox postpaid internet, enrollment and paperless billing, and Cox Easy Pay required. Max of 5 lines. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
This is Matt Coker from West Coast Men's Health. I'm proud to let you know that nationwide, our clinics have a 4.7 out of 5-star rating on Google.
All right, welcome back. 3:40 is the time. Chris Ella. Tony Gwynn Jr.'s idle today, but Matt Skraby is here. We're hanging out for about another hour, and then we're sending it up to the Bay. Scrabe.
Showtime!
Stop it with him. Just, you know what? If I had my say, just eliminate that from the repertoire. But
it's a good drop.
Joe Tessitore. Ugh.
He was calling. What game did he call over the weekend?
I know. I saw him. I heard his name.
Day.
I heard his voice, and I quickly switched the channel. Whatever game it was. Monday Night Football. San Francisco, New York Jets. They just showed a shot of the stadium inside there, Levi's Stadium, I believe it is, Scrape.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And they had they were showing some guys out on the field and some of the broadcasters. It is currently, now it's an hour and a half, but when they showed the shot, it was at 3:10, a half an hour ago. Well before 2 hours more than before kickoff. There's already a ton of people in their seats. Like, what are you doing? You have nothing else you could be, maybe getting a little shade? It's like 100 degrees up there, right?
Yeah, I don't understand people that are able to sit in the sun for prolonged
just going to
periods
sit there
of
for
time.
2 hours and wait for them to kick off, huh? By the way, does not make you a better fan than the smart guy who is, getting some cover and having a cold beverage before they come to their seats.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You're not a better fan because you're in your seat early.
It's crazy.
It's
I remember earlier this year when the Padres played the Brewers at home on a Sunday, I got some of the Odyssey tickets, which were right behind home plate. It was also 90 degrees, and we sat in the sun the entire game, which was fine, but it was brutal. I was sweating the entire game. So these people are sitting there without anything happening on the field.
Not much going on out there, but in a couple of hours there will be, and we'll have the game for you right here on 97.3 The Fan. Jets and 49ers. By the way, if you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine. Coronado, La Jolla, dining, takeout options. SpirosCuisine.com. Traffic, and then what else is happening? Big Five.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by California Department of Transportation. Got a handful of problems here, guys. One of them is this crash on southbound side of the 805 before the 15. Several vehicles involved. It's in the center divide. Could be partially in that fast lane. And ladder in lanes award goes to southbound side of the 5 right before the 805 split. Apparently, it's more in that fast lane, so just take it extra carefully there. Also, traveling on westbound King Freeway before 28th Street. We have reports of a stalled transit bus in lanes. Eastbound Interstate 8 will close from Jackson Drive to Route 67 from 9 p.m. Friday, September 13th through 5 a.m. Monday, September 16th. Follow the detour signs on Route 125 if you're in the area. Then give yourself more time to reach your destination. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
And before I forget, this hour is brought to you by Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit today. All right, let's get into the first topic, and one of the things that we've been talking about, one of the things that makes us most concerned,
Number 5,
would be Ha-Seong Kim. We know that he's not close to coming back to the Padres after trying to throw over the weekend. He tried to throw it at full speed, but he still had discomfort. So Mike Shildt, the manager of the Padres, said he's still a little bit off, a long ways off, in my opinion. There are thoughts to bringing Xander back to shortstop, but he did say he wanted to stay at second, so we're not sure what's going to happen here.
I don't really care what Xander wants right now. Honestly, I care what's best for the team. And I'm not being mean to Xander. The team needs what the team needs right now.
But he's already done what the team needs once, and he got kind of hosed doing it,
Too bad. If I need him to bat ninth, he better bat ninth. I don't care. We got to win games right now. Go ahead with your question. All right, what's your
question? We're going to assume that I'm going worst case scenario. Ha-Seong Kim misses the playoffs.
Okay.
Is this a little deal, no deal, or fantastically huge deal?
It's a deal. And
that's
it
not
can
one
be
of the choices.
Well, it can be less of a deal if Bogarts or Cronenworth are moved to shortstop, and Arise is moved to first base, and Peralta and Solano were made the DH. But it's a thing. I mean, they're better with, obviously, defensively with Ha-Seong at shortstop. So, but I honestly, this is my feeling on it officially. I don't care. I don't have time to care right now. I only have time to go out and win the game tomorrow and win another game and keep winning down the stretch to hang on to my playoff spot. So if he's not ready, I can't worry about him. That's the way you have to play this right now. Again, we're not in a long-term, do what's best for the long-term situation. We're now sprinting. So do what's best for now. And right now, yeah, there is no Ha-Seong Kim. What do you think? Is it a big deal?
I think it's a massive deal.
Massive.
I think it's a massive deal because we took for granted Ha-Seong Kim out there every single day. It just wasn't a thought. He was going to be in the lineup. Now, was he successful this year at hitting? Not as much as we've seen in the past. But what Mason McCoy doesn't have is the ability that we've seen so far. He doesn't have the ability that Ha-Seong Kim does. Ha-Seong Kim can hit a home run in a big situation. Ha-Seong Kim can hit one in the gap in a big situation. We haven't seen that from Mason McCoy, and that's why Mason McCoy cannot start at shortstop for the rest of the season.
It's a big loss, but you know what? The other teams have injuries too. So do what you can to, negate the injury as much as possible. And right now, since it's, a long stretch, you did it for a while and got away with it, but now it's time.
Yeah, now
it's time to get Mason McCoy out and get either Solano or Peralta's bat in.
And move Jackson Merrill to third and Profar to sixth.
In the order.
In the batting order, yeah.
I think you got to consider that. I really do. Because right now, Merrill's a lot scarier of a hitter.
All right.
Number 4.
Tom Brady made his announcing debut for Fox over the weekend, and it came with mixed results on how he did. He called the Browns and the Cowboys game for Fox with Kevin Burkhardt. So I'm up first. What did you think of Tom Brady's debut? Number one, I think...
Do you want to give me... Oh, you're going first.
Yeah, I think he got a bad game to call because it was really boring. There was no real drama in this game whatsoever. I thought he did exactly how I thought he was going to do, which was make some good comments here and there, stumble over his words here and there, and just be overall Tom Brady. He needs to figure out who he is, though. He needs to figure out, how Romo's the guy who was like, I don't know, Jim. He needs to figure out, what Tom Brady's personality is, because he was kind of boring, and he was kind of like a paper bag, or not a paper bag, a cardboard cutout.
Tom Brady was.
Yes, what I was trying
to say. Kind of ho-hum.
Very ho-hum. But I think he did all right. I could see him getting better. Chris?
Yeah, it's one game. I mean,
he is the GOAT. He's getting paid $300 million.
Doesn't matter. He's not the GOAT at broadcasting, and it's going to take him time. There's no one other than maybe, Vin Scully who could walk in their first game ever and be good. Tony Romo took a long time, by the way, to establish that persona. Hello. But it took a long time for that to come around.
Did. Yeah, it
John Madden wasn't John Madden the first game. So I'd really rather not give a rating. I didn't think he was very good. I don't think he was very good. There you go.
All right.
I don't think he was very good.
That is
way too early.
It is way too early. I get it. But when you're Tom Brady, everything is up for grabs. This NFL season is getting pretty expensive for one New York Jets player. Adam Schefter tweeted this earlier today. Quote, Jets holdout edge rusher Hassan Reddick will forfeit a game check of nearly $800,000 for missing tonight's regular season opener versus the 49ers, and an additional nearly $800 for each game he subsequently misses. This is on top of more than the $5 million in NFL-mandated fines that he's already accumulated for missing practices, meetings, and all of that stuff. So, Chris, do you think at this point it's beneficial for Hassan Reddick to sit out?
Beneficial for Hassan Reddick?
Yes.
I don't know. I guess, he's the only guy, right, that can't get a new contract. Maybe you should ask for a trade to the 49ers. They would give in and give him something like they did the Ayuk and the tackle. But
the tackle.
Williams. Normally this works, right?
Yeah, it does.
It's not working.
It's not.
He's gone, he's almost to the point of no return now. Right? I mean, he's into the season. He's missing games.
Well, it's like Jamar Chase. He sat out the entire preseason.
Yeah, but then he finally...
And then he caved.
Yeah, I would cave, take the money, and then figure there's a whole lot more where that came from. So that would be my answer, but I can understand why he's doing it because 90% of the time it works.
I can understand why he's doing it too, but this is stupid on his part.
Stupid, you
Because you know what? Mr. Hassan Reddick, your talent can go tomorrow, and you will never make any more money off of football again. Look at what happened with Le'Veon Bell. He was awful after he sat out his year. I think, there's a difference to me. There's a difference between Jamar Chase and Hassan Reddick. Jamar Chase seems like he just didn't want to do the preseason thing while trying to get a new contract. But he ended up showing up for his team even though he didn't get what he wanted. Hassan Reddick does not care about his team, only cares about himself. That's not
clear at all. That's not clear at all.
It's clear.
Not. You're saying the same thing about Brandon Ayuk, and it's just not clear.
Why did Jamar Chase show up? Because he's there for his team. He wants to win. He wants to play. Hassan Reddick some of these guys just want the money and don't care about anything else.
Everybody looks out for number one, even you. Even you. In your own little weird world.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I've taken a discount forever in this job to do it.
In your own weird way.
Okay.
Number 2.
I'm just tired of guys sitting out because they...
I know you are,
I'm just tired of it.
It's going to keep
happening. Tired of it.
All right.
After getting beat by Nebraska 28-10 on Saturday in Lincoln, Coach Prime and his Colorado Buffaloes just looked outmatched, Chris. More and more is coming out about the program, and a local sports reporter reported this, quote, Deion Sanders told the Colorado band they couldn't play if his son Shedeur Sanders scores a touchdown so that the loudspeaker can play a recording of his son's perfect timing song after he scores. Now, my friend is a CU guy, and he is pointing out every single thing that the media is saying that is wrong. And he said, quote, in a text message, my understanding is that CU is not playing Glory after Shedeur's TD, but is playing the actual fight song after the PAT. So I wanted to bring that up before people accuse me of presenting it one-sided. I'm up first. When are you going to detach from Coach Prime? I detached a long time ago. Chris, when are you going to detach from Coach Prime?
Kicking a man when he's down. It's easy to do. I'm not going to detach from Coach Prime.
Are you kidding me? Do you see how bad his teams look? They look like they haven't been coached.
Is that the only thing in the world?
Yes.
Okay.
When you're a football coach, yes. Your team winning, yes.
Lost a game Saturday. Lost a bunch of them last year. He's trying to, resurrect a program that was awful. I don't know. I like Coach Prime better than you do. So what can I tell you?
You're going to be at one point. You're going to be like, I never liked this guy. I don't know what's going on with him.
I promise you, I won't say that because I like what he's trying to do. Right now, it's not going well.
It's not going well at all for him. All right.
Number 1.
Notre Dame and Northern Illinois on Saturday. Notre Dame was down 16-14, and they were trying to make a 62-yard field goal to win it. Here is the Northern Illinois radio broadcast. We're going to play a little Rate the Radio call.
He's lining it up. 5 seconds left. NIU up 16-14. 62-yarder. Snap, hold, Jeter's kick. It's blocked! It's blocked! It's blocked! Picked up by NIU! Picked up by NIU! The Huskies have done it! The Huskies with the biggest upset in NIU history! They come to South Bend, Indiana, and they knock off the number 5 team in the country!
Is there another overrated team like Notre Dame? I mean, there are a ton of... Notre Dame is always up there. Anyway, I'm being a hater today. My question for you is, Chris, rate that radio call.
Give him about an 8.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really excited, which I understand.
Yeah.
Lost his voice. I'd be just as excited if I went to Northern Illinois and our school just got put on the map for an hour or two. It's a good call. It's solid. He's excited. I'd be that excited. Notre Dame did beat Texas A&M the week before, so they weren't completely a number 5 paper rated team. That's a hell of a great win. We went to Notre Dame once with the Aztecs, and we almost pulled off a win, and I would have probably been that excited too.
All right. Yeah, no, I think it's exciting too. 8 is right for a college radio call.
8 is great.
8 is great.
All right, Chris versus the Fans is great. It's coming up next. 833-288-0973. You want to play some trivia? Want to win some prizes? We got new prizes for the month of September.
We did.
Stay tuned. It's coming up.
This is breaking news from 97.3 The Fan.
This is not only breaking news, this is pull your car over to the side of the road news.
And don't oversell it.
4:01 is the time. We welcome you back. Final segment or two of Gwynn and Chris today. This is such big breaking news that you know what? I think it's too big even for me to announce to you. I think I should make Skraby have to announce this to everybody.
It's fine.
So through the tears.
There's no tears.
Here is the announcement that is breaking Skraby's heart and going to break a few hearts out there.
Keep in mind, I've been saying that I didn't believe that he was as healthy as he's been saying this whole time. I said that earlier in the show. Christian McCaffrey will not play tonight for the 49ers due to his calf injury that he's had a full offseason to heal from.
I thought there was going to be tears. Instead, there was anger.
Now there's anger. There's anger.
There sounds like anger. Yeah,
this is the game that they're playing. Oh, we're going to tell everyone that Christian's not going to play about an hour before the game.
Yeah, we tricked everybody. Yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, if you're a 49er fan, it's a big deal. But if you're a fantasy football fan, it's a really big deal. Because I know everybody's he was the number one pick in most drafts.
You just got really lucky if you're playing against him.
You got lucky if you're playing against him, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, no Christian McCaffrey tonight for the 49ers. News just came down a few moments ago as we welcome you back to Gwynn and Chris. The 49er Jet game will be broadcast live right here on 97.3 The Fan without Christian McCaffrey. Who will now play running back for your 49ers? Will it be Deebo Samuel or will it be Jordan
Mason?
Who? Yeah. Elijah Mitchell's already hurt, right?
He's out for the year.
The other backup.
I'm pretty sure he's out for the year. But he's not. Yeah, there you go. Jordan Mason expected to start.
Okay. There you go.
The only reason I know is because I went immediately to one of my leagues to block someone from picking up Jordan Mason.
Why would you do that?
Because.
You're a jerk?
Yes.
You really are.
Because
Why are you doing that?
Because it's so much fun, to play spoiler.
Jerk. Don't be such an idiot. That is so not the spirit of fantasy sports. Because everybody right now that has Christian McCaffrey is going to scramble to find this Jordan Mason so they can at least have somebody in their lineup tonight. And what'd you do? Claim him for your team?
No, I didn't get him in time, but I went to go do it.
You're a jerk.
It was already
You're a jerk.
It was
I did not know that you were. I did honestly.
You did.
I honestly did not know you were a jerk. I mean, I was still holding out hope that you weren't a jerk.
I'm not a jerk.
But you just went and blocked somebody from.
I did not. I tried to. There's two different ways of thinking about this.
Just that you would have that thought worries me, concerns me.
What's Braden's matchup looking like? Because our guy Braden Soprano has CMC.
Yeah, I don't care enough to look it all up. I know that everybody who has Christian McCaffrey just got a dose of bad news. That is for sure. The other news is it's now circulating on Twitter, and that is the body cam footage from Tyreek Hill's incident with the Miami-Dade police yesterday. Tyreek said he was very cooperative. The Miami police said he wasn't so cooperative. I'm just going to let you judge it for yourself. You can go to Twitter. You can find the video. Didn't seem like he's all that cooperative to me.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I'm just trying to judge it myself. That's
Didn't he
all.
stand there and say I was cooperative?
He did. Tyreek should have known that there is body camera footage of everything that happens now.
Well, the police officer, you'll see it, but he comes up to the window. He knocks on the window. Tyreek lowers it just a little bit, and then they talk, and then Tyreek rolls up the window. The police officer asks him to keep the window down. Tyreek says no, and then he was mad at the police officer for knocking on his window, and he told him to get out of the car. Tyreek said no, and so that's when all that else or other stuff happened, which it's a bad situation all the way around.
It's not a good look anywhere.
Yeah,
but the notion that Tyreek Hill completely did whatever the officers asked him, probably not accurate, which I kind of thought from the beginning.
Do we think that he's actually believing that he is
cooperating? Right, maybe he believes he was being cooperative.
Now, maybe they used, not maybe, they
did
use too much force.
Hey, look, they did. That's absolutely, I'm not forgiving that.
Yeah.
Totally not forgiving that. But what I said at the time is Tyreek Hill does not, this is coming from a Miami fan wearing my hat today, he does not deserve the benefit of the doubt. Tyreek Hill does not deserve any benefit of any doubt.
No.
All right, so you can look at that video yourself. You be the judge. All right, let's play some trivia, Skrabe. We finally got a prize.
Yay!
We went last week without prizes.
One day.
But we're back in the prize department. You can qualify for a chance to win a 2-night stay at the Wynn. Yeah, you can win to go to the Wynn or the Encore, Las Vegas, either one. And you get 2 tickets to see the show Awakening. It's a thrilling spectacle. It's at the Wynn. It dazzles audience, says, with soaring aerialists, bounding acrobats, high-energy choreography, and comedic moments. At the heart of this compelling story, a hero must confront the forces of light and darkness in a quest to save the world. My goodness, a lot going on here. It's a mythic adventure. It unfolds set amid the most technologically immersive theater ever designed. That includes one that just was built in Bulgaria. Tickets are on sale now at awakening.com.
Why are you making fun of the prize?
I always make fun of people who say that they're world famous and they're the best in the world when they really don't know. You know, there's some guy down there at the corner who's got a taco shop and they're world famous, and they're just not. There's nobody in Bali who knows who they are.
You know it's a marketing tool, right?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Let's play Chris versus the fans then.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, let's get to the rules. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get the question wrong and Chris gets it right, you are eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. And as always, if you're a first-time player, let us know before the first question. You'll get that question for free today. Chris versus the fans is presented by SD Fat Loss. Lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days. Visit sdfatloss.com to schedule your free consultation. All right, let's get started here.
All right, now, what's that voice you like to do?
Oh, hey, see?
Yeah,
we're going to get started with Chris versus the fans, see?
That's what I thought you were doing there.
Let's go to Kevin in Oceans.
Hey, Kevin, how are you doing?
Kevin.
How you doing, my man?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. First-time caller.
Oh, hey, first-time
player! All right, here we go.
Good luck, Kevin.
Question number 2. What round of the 2013 NFL Draft was Travis Kelce drafted in?
Travis Kelce.
Oh, God.
What round?
Yep.
I would say the 3rd round.
The 3rd round. I don't know if you guessed, but that is correct.
You got it.
Wow.
Well done. Saw Travis Kelce on television yesterday, Skraby.
Oh, yeah, he was at the U.S. Open.
U.S. Open tennis. I got to tell you, his hairstyle is
it's
quite goofy.
It's really weird.
Quite goofy.
Was he wearing the same thing as Brittany Mahomes? I think I read.
I don't know. He had a
like
he had a very cool Gucci hat.
Yeah, go look up the
bucket hat.
pictures. Yeah, go look up the pictures.
But I can't get into his hairstyle.
At first, when
I don't think he wants me to get into it. But I'm just saying I can't get into it.
At first, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh man, he had a game and he went." Oh wait, he played on Thursday.
Yeah.
There's no controversy here.
Patrick Mahomes' boy was also at the U.S. Open yesterday as well.
Man, it must be nice just to be able to fly
Can
wherever
you
want.
Yeah,
in the
what
world.
do you want to do tomorrow? Let's go to the U.S. Open. Where is it? New York? Perfect.
Okay, here, let's get on my private jet and I'll get us free tickets.
I got an idea, Skraby. Work harder.
I don't even think that would help, Chris. I don't know that would help.
I don't either.
All right, here we go,
Kevin.
Kevin
could care less. He wants to win the game.
Exactly.
Good luck, Kevin.
All right, Kevin, I'm going to give you 3 names.
All right, what team?
It's a roster thing. You're going to tell me what team they all played for together. You don't need the year, just the team.
Okay.
So this is going to be Josh Johnson, the quarterback.
Oh, my God.
Josh Johnson, Adrian Peterson, Colt McCoy. What team did those 3 play for together?
Ooh, doggy. That is a tough one.
Indianapolis.
Stay there.
I might have guessed that too.
Stay
this
there.
is a tough one.
You keep saying
Well, Josh Johnson played for every team in football.
He actually didn't.
Almost every team in football. Colt McCoy played for what I recall the Redskins. Can I say the Redskins? Because that's what they were when he played for them. And I know he played a couple of other places, Cardinals. I don't 100% remember AP with the Redskins, but that's the only guess I have. Redskins.
I hate you sometimes.
Oh!
I hate you sometimes.
So does Kevin. He hates me too.
Kevin.
Sorry, Kevin.
Thank
AP
you for
was with the Redskins, huh?
2018.
Don't recall that.
2018.
Don't really recall it, but
Me neither.
I didn't think it was either that or the Cardinals, and I didn't think Josh Johnson had played for the Cardinals, so that's how I came to that.
All right.
Next up,
here we go to Jason. Hello, Jason.
Jason, San Diego's own.
How's it going?
Hi,
Pretty
Jason.
good. Are you ready to play?
Good to have you aboard, sir.
First time player.
First time again. I like it. First
All right.
time. All right.
Here we go. Question number 2.
First time, long time.
First time, long time. I think I've already asked that question, actually. Who was the last Padre pitcher to complete the pitching triple crown?
The pitching triple crown. The last?
The last one
They've
to
had
do
more
that.
than one?
Man, I'm going to have to say I don't know.
You don't
Doesn't know.
Oh, he's playing the game. I like that.
It's not the worst strategy because if you guess wrong, that always sometimes gives me a clue. But I think Jake Peavy did that, so I would go with him, but I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, Jason.
Sorry, Jason.
I
Jake
can't.
Peavy had a pitching triple crown.
He did.
ERA, strikeouts, and wins.
Yep.
Pretty good. Tarek Skubal has a chance, I believe, this year for the Tigers, but
You're not sure.
not sure, honestly.
You're not sure.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that, Jason. Here we go to our next.
Chris Sale's probably got a chance, too, at the Braves, the way he's been pitching.
Yeah, he's also getting MVP votes, they're saying.
Chris Sale has been hot.
All right, let's go to John Temecula. We know John. Hello, John.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not too
Good
much.
luck, John.
Are you ready to play?
I am ready to play, and I don't hate Chris Skraby.
You should. You should.
You should.
Here
Yeah,
we
at
go.
least, you know what?
better.
Anybody out there can hate me if they want to, but I would never go into my fantasy league and block somebody from picking up a guy like you just did a little
You don't
while
want to
ago.
win.
You're
don't want to
brutal.
win. By the
heard
way,
that.
I
I heard
didn't
about
pick him
that.
up. He was already gone.
Brutal play right there. I hope you pay for that for the rest of the season.
I want him a double champ in fantasy baseball, so.
Never mind.
Here we go.
Sorry I brought
Question
it up.
number 1. John, where is the Super Bowl located this season?
This season. It's not easy.
This season.
This season.
Never easy.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Arizona.
Arizona, he says.
Arizona, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
That is actually a song. I know that song.
Arizona, the wind comes sweeping down
No,
the
that's
plain.
Oklahoma.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, my bad.
Chris, do you know?
I do because I was watching Red Zone yesterday,
Oh!
and they said it. But I wouldn't have before yesterday. I believe it's in Nowlands this year. New
Sorry,
Orleans.
John. Now, do you hate
John.
Chris?
Yeah. No, he doesn't hate me.
He left-
I'm a wonderful guy.
He's a wonderful guy. That's what my Irish brother-in-law says all the time. He's a wonderful guy. Okay. Let's go to Bill. Or actually, I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't mean to call you. Jason in San Diego. Jason! You are on the radio.
Hey, guys,
Jason.
you're on, babe. You are on.
Let's go, babe.
Go get him.
You there, babe?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. I'm nervous. All right, Jason. Jerickson Profar has played for 4 teams in his career. Padres are one of them. What are the other 3?
Rangers, the Rockies.
Give him a minute.
The Diamondbacks.
The
Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks. Stay there, Jason.
Rangers and Rockies was indeed correct. The A's is the other one. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that, Jason.
Jason.
All right, let's go
Do
to
we
our
have
next...
back-to-back Jasons there?
We did.
Oh, okay.
Let's go to our next contestant. I don't know where I remember ever seeing Hugo on here, so let's go with Hugo. Hello, Hugo.
Hey, Skraby, I'm here.
All right, you ready to play?
Mr. Allo, good afternoon. Yes, I am.
Good to
All
talk
right.
to you, Hugo.
First time player. Here we go. Question number 2.
Bueno.
Here's 3 players. You tell me what team they played on together. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Stevie Johnson, or here's 4 players. Stevie Johnson, CJ Spiller, Fred Jackson. What team did they play for together?
Jesus. Stevie Johnson.
Sounds like the Bills.
The Bills is correct.
Well done, Hugo. Not an easy one.
Ryan Fitzpatrick has played for more teams than Josh Johnson's played for, let me tell you.
Yeah. Spiller gave it away for me. So.
Oh, CJ Spiller, did he only play for the Bills? Maybe he did.
Yeah, it was good job by Hugo, I say.
All right, here
Well
we
done.
go, Hugo. Question number 3. We just did Jake Peavy winning the pitching Triple Crown, but someone did it after him. Who was the last pitcher to win the pitching Triple Crown in a full season?
Man, that's a tough one.
Yes, it is. I think you can do it, Hugo.
King Felix?
King
Felix. Felix Hernandez. I have a guess, but I don't think it's 100%. Verlander? More hatred for me, Hugo. Good effort.
You
Good
know, in
try.
the interest of time, Chris, we're going to have to... Someone else is going to have to
Oh, yeah,
win.
we got to get out of here for Monday Night Football.
We have 13 minutes until Monday Night
All
Football.
right, do your tiebreaker.
Oh, gosh. Tiebreaker.
Wait, let me see a guy. Mike Lansing.
Who the heck is that?
He's an infielder. Played for the Expos and Rockies back in the day.
Mike Lansing.
Yeah, he's on the front page of Baseball Reference today. So
that's a good way.
That's
a good way of finding it. Oh,
yeah, they have all these pictures.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, Mike Lansing might have been an all-star.
All right, let's go with Ted. Ted, you're up for the tiebreaker. Are you ready?
Ted.
I'm ready.
Do you know how it works, tiebreaker?
Yes.
Okay.
I pick higher or lower.
Yes, exactly.
Good
Here,
luck to
hold
you.
on to that.
Okay.
Chris, how many times did he strike out in his career?
How many years did he play?
9, it says.
9? Wait. 700.
700 times. Ted, is the actual answer higher or lower?
I'm going to say lower.
You're going to say
I think he's
lower.
right.
And Ted is correct.
Yeah, Mike Lansing was a pretty good little
Nice
player.
job, Ted. Stay right there. It was 570 times.
All right.
Played for, the Expos, the Rockies, and the Red Sox.
Very good.
It says 10 years that he played, but it also says 9 years that he played.
Well, maybe played 9.5.
Maybe.
All right, very good. Ted wins the Chris vs. the Fans. We got to take a break because
Yes,
we
we do.
don't have a whole lot of time.
No, we don't.
Monday Night Football without Christian McCaffrey is coming up
It's
shortly.
starting to hit me, Chris.
I thought it might on Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. First traffic.
From the
Ahead of tonight's Monday Night Football game, Christian McCaffrey inactive for the 49ers. They'll play the Jets. We'll get up to San Francisco here in a few minutes. I have one quick thing to say about that. Knowing the fantasy football involvement of everyone in this country, I really think teams have to make it a little more honest about guys like Christian McCaffrey as to whether they're playing or not, rather than waiting until an hour before the game. I don't know how you monitor this, but this is a pretty big effect on a lot of people because fantasy football means a lot to a lot of people. And that's where your bread is buttered. People watch the NFL in large part because of fantasy football.
Yeah, true.
You owe it to those people to tell you who's playing and who's not.
I'm not going to go that far.
All right. Just a thought.
All right. That's really catering to the fan.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I imagine there's a lot of people that are going to get home tonight who have Christian McCaffrey in their lineup and going to tune the game on and not see him out there.
Hey, guess what? Check your lineup before the game starts.
All right.
It's pretty simple.
Okay, says
Pretty
Skraby.
simple.
All right, says you. But don't worry about it, because if you want to pick up somebody to replace McCaffrey, you can't do it because jerks like Skraby have already taken that option away from you.
Chris is really upset by this.
I am upset. All right, you're upset because your survivor pool, which we have over 200 people in from the station, is already ended. How many other people were eliminated yesterday by the Bengals?
62.
Wow, that's it.
30.1% of our survivor
people were
pool
gone.
are eliminated.
I really thought it would be more than that.
God, now whoever picked the Falcons, you're crazy.
Yeah, you're out as
Whoever
well.
picked the Packers, you're crazy.
You're out.
The other choices were Bills in order of popularity: Bills, Seahawks, Saints, Bucks, Lions, Bears, Eagles, Dolphins, Chargers, Cowboys, Texans.
All right. All those people are still alive, but people like Skraby, the Bengals, eliminated.
I almost wanted to say that the eliminator pool is done.
It's not.
Because I don't have anything in it anymore.
You can root for me, and I'm sure that'll be very important to you. All right, stay tuned. Monday Night Football. We're back with Tony tomorrow at 2 o'clock. See you then for Skraby, Tony, Chris. Good night.
Bye.